Hello, this is an abbreviated version of the Guerilla lecture capture presentation given at DePaul University on April the 16th, 2010. The objective of this presentation is to demonstrate how you can use podcasts, vodcasts or pencasts in an affordable way to record the classroom environment. If you want to get in touch with me, my contact information is on the screen. That's jmoore@depaul.edu. This information is also available on my website at depaul.edu/jmoore/guerilla. So the problem here is I want to faithfully capture the classroom experience and make it available to students. You might ask yourself why I want to do this. Well, from my perspective, there are 4 reasons. Hopefully, I teach better by recording what I do. It lowers the cognitive overload for my students. It creates the opportunity for course review for them, and then also provides an opportunity for students who are not there to see the classroom experience. Now, there are some great technologies out there that would allow me to record the classroom, but the problem is they generally involve specialized equipment and a specialized room. What I'm looking for is something that's portable and cheap, something I can carry with me. So I have 3 solutions: basic podcasting, vodcasting and pencasting. So here's what I do with podcasting. I have a Sansa clip, which is a MP3 recorder that I can clip to my shirt. It's an affordable device, costs around $20 to $60. The 2 GB version I think is sufficient for most people, allowing you to record up to about 12 hours of audio. And the nice thing here is you can clip this to your shirt, and as you walk around the room, the microphone obviously goes around the room with you, so we don't have situations where you're moving out of microphone range. However, this does force you to change some of your behaviour. You obviously want to decide what you will and won't record, and when faced with a question from the audience, you have to repeat this to sort of phrase it along the lines of, let me repeat that, your observation or question was. You want to tell your students beforehand that you're going to record your classes, and you want to be aware that technology may sometimes fail. What I try to do is to break my classes into 3 chunks. And what I've learned from bitter experience is that you don't want to record one session. You want to stop every time there's a break and then start re-recording. Otherwise you have to go through after the recording and find those areas and edit them out. I use Audacity. I take these WAV files, trim them, and then export them as an MP3. After that I add metadata. The process only takes me a couple of minutes the next day, and luckily the technology is free. In terms of file size, a 1-hour recording generally works out at about 50 megabytes in size, which I then upload to iTunes U. It's not the only option, but it's free and easy to use. Vodcasting is a little bit more complicated. A vodcast is a video podcast, and here teaching style dictates what and how you will record. Now on the Mac I found the best software to use to be ScreenFlow, which costs about $90, but there are other options. In the classroom I use a Samsung Zoom H2 microphone connected to my laptop. I'll use the Sansa clip as a backup device in case the microphone doesn't work. So again, the same procedure. I've split my class into 3 sections, so there are 3 recordings that I create each evening. The next day I take that in ScreenFlow, I trim the recording and then export that as an M4V file or .mov file. I add some metadata to that, and here I do 2 things. I upload this to iTunes U, and I'll simultaneously create a version which is available on Guerilla as a streaming video for students to download. File sizes here are a little bit larger. The ScreenFlow file is generally about 1.5 gigabytes in size. When it's cut down into an M4V file, it's considerably smaller, between 180 and 280 megabytes in size. But here things can get a little bit more complicated. That's just recording what I have on my computer screen. What I could do is provide context by recording the classroom environment, because here we add some additional nuance to what's going on. So basically, I'm creating something that has the non-ambiguous content and then context. For this, I could use a mini camcorder. I looked at about 4 models a year or 2 back and decided upon the Vado HD as being the best option for me. The camera, 2 additional batteries and a battery charger costs about $160 nowadays. The camera allows me to record about 8 hours of content, and each battery lasts about 2 hours. Now I can set this at the back of the room on a desk if I'm using a desktop tripod, or I can use a conventional tripod. So here are the 2 that I use at the moment. If you needed to have 2 cameras on your tripod, there is the option of using a twin bar as well. And what I have played around with is using a Bluetooth webcam to stream video live to ScreenFlow. Unfortunately, this currently doesn't work on Snow Leopard, but it does on Camtasia. And then the last option that's available to me is pencasting, and there's 2 devices that I use here. The first one is the Livescribe Pulse pen, which has 2 versions at the moment. The 4 gig is about $170. You can pick this up at Target or Amazon, and this is a smart pen. What it does is it writes on a Noto dot paper, and it has a microphone at the back of the pen which records your voice, and then a camera sort of adjacent to the pen nib. Now this works like a GPS. As you move your pen over dot paper, it's able to digitize exactly what you're writing and where you are on the paper, and it synchronizes this with whatever's said in the background. So after class, you can take this recording and you can upload it to Livescribe's sharing site and then embed this within a learning management system like Desire to Learn or Blackboard, or you could put it in Facebook or up on a web page somewhere. Now this works nicely. The only downside is you need an overhead projector to share the content with students. So there's an even better device that you can use, which is the Papershow pen. You can pick up a starter kit for about $100 at the moment, and the device works by connecting the pen via Bluetooth to a USB thumb drive that's connected to your classroom PC. Here, when you switch on the pen, everything you write on a piece of paper will show up live on the computer screen. Now the nice thing here is the pen allows you to change colour or to strengthen certain elements like lines, arrows, circles and squares. So it creates fairly engaging content. So there are 3 technologies that you can use here. The thing that I find incredibly useful is you combine all 3 if you wish. So you can use your Sansa clip as a backup device. You can use ScreenFlow to record whatever you create that's on the computer screen, and then use a device like the Papershow pen to get out there and actually write within the classroom environment, to annotate something, to create things that are dynamic and interesting. Anyway, this is an abbreviated presentation. Hopefully this is of use to you, and have fun with the technologies that are out there. Thank you.